All right, we want to begin with immigration, making news in the halls of Congress and on the campaign trail as well. In Washington, negotiations continuing over an immigration deal that Republicans say must be made to pass further aid for both Ukraine and for Israel as well. We are learning Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell sent a note to his Republican colleagues saying while progress is in fact being made, there will likely not be a vote this week. Yesterday, the White House met with leaders of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus after lawmakers say they became increasingly concerned about what the final bill could include. I want to bring in NBC congressional correspondent Julie Serkin on Capitol Hill for us to talk more about this. Where are we today? It looks like Mitch McConnell throwing some cold water on a deal getting made. What goes on from here?
Well, in just a couple of hours, Yasmin, Senate negotiators are still planning to gather in person in the Capitol along with Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. So that process is still moving forward. You'll remember yesterday we were talking about how they needed to have a framework, some kind of product that they could show the rest of their Senate colleagues before they head back into town tomorrow evening. Look, this is what we agreed on. Here are all the proposals we've signed off on. Now let's get ready to translate that to bill text. But the issue is they're not even at that step yet. There are still major issues where the two sides are very far apart. I'm told those buckets include issues like tightening the parole system, also reforming the asylum system, trying to expand enhanced deportation of migrants beyond the border, going into New York City and Chicago, all of these areas that, of course, Democrats, especially Hispanic lawmakers, especially progressives, take immense issue with. And certainly the White House is listening to that. But at the same time, you got to get a deal done, and you got to go a little bit more to the right in order to get those House Republicans to support an immigration deal and unlock foreign aid to Ukraine and Israel. I want you to take a listen, though, to what we heard from Senator Lindsey Graham and on the other side, House member Debbie Dingell, who's, of course, a Democrat, both different sides on this issue. Watch this.
The bottom line here is we feel like we're being jammed. We're not anywhere close to a deal. It'll go into next year. I've never been more worried about a 9/11 than I am right now, and our border has been obliterated, and we're not going to give in on some Band-Aid fix.
We need to do something on immigration, but we need to do it in a right way that keeps compassion there but protects our national security. So let me see what comes out of this, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to vote.
Look, so I'm not closing the door on this fully. We'll see what happens after this meeting tonight, but the clock really is ticking. Remember, Leader Schumer in the Senate wants to get this done by the end of the year because the White House is saying how important it is to unlock that aid, particularly to Ukraine. By the end of the year, you have Republicans, even Lindsey Graham, who told me this week that he doesn't see it as that much of an issue. And you'll remember, he does support sending aid to Ukraine. So really, the bottom line here is they are still far apart. To get to a point where they can even have bill text, it'll still take some time. So by all accounts, my sources are telling me that it looks like this is going to be punted into January, Yasmin.
All right, Julie Serkin for us. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. Coming up next hour, by the